to the top. To my drinking buddy and my hunting buddy. Brother, you don't know how much you have affected my life. It has been a real pleasure getting to know you. And all I can say is I hope that we continue to be good friends. Come on up here. Thanks, bro. All right. If I start spouting out unique words, it's because I am going to challenge the bet that I'm not going to lose it. And I have some key words that are going to squash. I hate squash, all right? For 17 years, actually it's almost 18 years, I have had the opportunity, the pleasure and the opportunity to have Doug as my friend. I met him when we were going through the Syracuse program up at RIT, and as I told him, I'll tell everybody today, I'll keep my story short, I didn't like him in the beginning. Didn't like him because I was never a jock in high school, and he was. However, Doug was the first person that helped me start to realize that look a little deeper into people, and maybe you'll find more than just, the glance that many people go through in life, just looking at people. And I looked at him a little bit more, wanted to get to know him a little bit more, and the more I got to know him, the more I liked of him. For 18 years, though we have not spent more than 3 years stationed in the same location, we have stayed tight for almost 18 years. And I can't tell you how much you have done to affect positively my family and myself. And you have always been there, always, for 18 years. You can't ask anything more of a best friend. Come on up here. Thank you, brother.
I'm so proud of you today, okay?
Thank you, brother. Many of us are lucky to have one best friend, but those three gentlemen I'm lucky enough to have as all three of my best friends. Save that one. Actually, this ceremony today wouldn't be anywhere near as good as it's been if it had not been for Chief Cortade. And I want to thank you. You have done an outstanding job of taking care of my family and I today. And I want to give you this. Thank you. I'm going to stop because I see some people in the audience I just want to recognize. John Valente, Chief John Valente, one of my LPOs many years ago, made me look good. Thank you for coming today. Brian Logan, thank you for coming out today. Mike Pendergrass, Mr. Mike Pendergrass, now back an instructor. 22 years ago, we served together on America. He has been one of the guiding lights as a photographer in our career field. And it's going to be an honor working with you again.
You were my first mentor.
Thank you. Thank you. You were my first challenge. I'm just being honest, all right? I'm proud of what you've become. Barb, I want to thank you for bringing this daughter of yours into this world. Yes, yes. I want to thank you and Mike. I'm sorry that Mike can't be here, but the two of you have always supported us, and you have been, I wish he could be here today, but thank you for all that both of you had done for us over the years. Squash! Squash! I may blurt out people. Ed Dunn. That's another one.
Brother, you lost. Let it go.
Yeah. Yes, I'm sorry. There you go. All right. Okay. Trying to keep the order here. That down there. Thank you. Did you? Bill? I've known you longer than almost anybody else here. You have always been more than a stepfather. Matter of fact, not a slam. I never thought of you as a stepfather. You've always been just a really good friend and somebody that's always taken care of my mother. You've done an outstanding job, and you've been one of my biggest Navy fans. So for the remaining projects that I will hire you for, but not pay you, like the kitchen, I bought you a Navy chair with a mug inside and your favorite scotch, which I've hidden in the building so the Colonel Keck doesn't have to know about it. Thank you. Are we still on time? We're doing good? Dad, you've given me direction and guidance throughout my life, and you've always supported me. And another quick story is that I can say now with pride is that many years ago when my father had just remarried, they were trying to convince me, along with, in a kitchen, he was trying to convince me to give me a direction in life, and it wasn't working. Actually, I don't know if I want to tell that. That was kind of ugly. I'm halfway through it, and in front of my brothers and my sister, they asked me. He said, "Why don't you join the military?" And I said, "The military's for losers that can't decide what they want to do in life." Well, I was pretty ignorant, you can tell by 19 years old, and I regretted what I said. And I wish Shirley could be here today so she could hear that. But I wish she could be here because I'd like you to know, and I'd like you to pass on to her how much she has meant to my family and I. She has been such a confidant to talk with. I've had so many long discussions with her, and she's helped me, talk out so many issues, and I think she has actually helped you and I communicate even more. And so, thank you for marrying her. And the other part of the story was that when I was 22, I quit college, I moved out to Colorado, and I was living literally hand to mouth. I was a hippie. And he came out again. He called me on a Thursday, I think it was, and said, "What are you doing this week, this next week?" I said, "I don't know, nothing." And he said, "I'll be out on Saturday." It's the only time I'm going to swear today. I hung up the phone and I said, "Oh shit." Because I knew then that he was coming out to have that heart-to-heart talk with me again. And it was now time to listen. And he came out and we went on a drive that held us in the room he held me captive in a vehicle for 7 days. And in that process, he said, "Why don't you think about, the military's got to have photographers. Why don't you think about doing that?" And I said the same thing as I said only 3 years ago, 3 years before that. And his response back, as a man with can say a lot with few words, was, "So how's it working for you?" Enough said is what I said. So I want to give this to you and thank you for everything you've done.
Proud of you.
Thank you. Another flowers. Mom, you have been, I can't ask for a better mother. You gave me such a wonderful childhood. You were always there. You made me the caring person that I think I am. And I just want to thank you for everything you've ever done for me. Okay, we're almost done. Okay, Jeremy, my boy. What I'm most proud of about you is the fact that you're not at all like me. I have made a lot of mistakes. I have pissed off a lot of people. And I've embarrassed myself a lot. And I've learned a lot through the road of hard knocks. And I can tell that you are much more mature than I was at that age. I am very proud of who you are, and I don't want you to be anything else. I hope I never try to get you to be anything different than what you are. I'm very proud of who you are. All right? This is something you've been wanting.